Hello, so I thought I'd do a quick video before we set off this morning. So I've installed the WRS Caponord, I think it's pronounced, screen, which is the very tall touring screen they do. I've gone for the tinted one. You see, looks quite nice. Silhouette of the bike is good. So we're going to see what it rides like. Try and get on some faster roads today and see if it's good for wind protection. Not the best day because, you know, a little bit on the breezy side, but hopefully still give us an idea. Just to point out one problem straight away, so I've used the proper mounting screws off the old one. I may have to look and see if I can get some shims under there to just raise this forward slightly, because all good in the straight ahead position. However, on turning it hits, and as you can see I've already scratched the wing mirror, because if you push through it does go through there, so it hits on the handguard a little bit as well, though the handguard springs, so because I've only got a single point handguard, so yeah, a little bit annoying. I was looking at some different mirrors anyway, so possibly we'll change those out with some double take stroke foldable ones where the arm goes straight up. But yeah, a little annoying, but let's see if it does the job for touring. So as you can probably see and hear today, it's pretty windy anyway, so may not be the best day for a test, but let's give it a go. Yeah, 30 miles an hour, about the same. I mean, you don't feel a lot of turbulence anyway through that normal screen. Going up to 40, just raise my hand there. All kind of calm bubble to around here, and it's just starting towards the top of the helmet, I'd say. So I'm 6'3". It may still need an additional little clip on the top, I think, to properly insulate from that wind, but let's see. I've deliberately worn the worst of the two helmets. So I'm in my Scorpion ADF 9000 helmet, which I find quite noisy generally, and also suffers quite a bit from wind turbulence and buffeting. We're also going to go across the Runcorn Bridge, which again, because of the sides on that bridge, makes it quite a turbulent air system to ride through. So I apologise if you're looking through it, but I can tell you that my eye line is well above it, so yeah, no issues there. And obviously that conflict between the mirrors and the grips in that screen is only going to come into play when you're low speed manoeuvring or you're parking the bike. The lock on this is very good. If I do U-turns, it's not often I put it on full lock, to be honest, so hopefully it won't be too much of an issue. But as I say, I can maybe look at some shims to just push the front of that out a bit more. Although I guess then I might need different size bolts. Let's see. So I'll cut in some video now. It just shows you from the old screen how I found this on the dual carriageway. Right, 66 miles an hour. Hopefully you can hear me okay. But if I hold my hand up, the wind is about there. So I'm getting blast there. I do get a little bit of overflow onto the top of my kind of collarbone, and it catches that helmet massively because there's nothing on top of that. So that's the standard wind speed. So what I'm hoping, I'm going to say it was 70. What I'm hoping is when I put the taller screen on, because it's going to be up here somewhere, it'll just take that off the top of the helmet. And so with that, yeah, immediate comparison, let's take this new screen down the dual carriageway and see what it's like. That's 50. Yeah, so again, completely calm here to about that height there, just to my eye line, which is just there. That's where that wind starts to come up. So unfortunately, with this particular screen, if you can hear me, because my god, that wind is loud, that still picks up on the peak of this helmet. So yeah, it's possible to crouch down out of the wind on this screen, but definitely a 6'3" if I'm sat upright. I'm still very much in it. Now the difference to the old screen, I guess, is that it was hitting me on the top of the shoulders and the lower part of the helmet, but I'm not getting any of that now. It's very much the upper part of the helmet that's getting the brunt of it. As I say, slightly harsh test today, maybe because it is so windy, so we'll try on a slightly calmer day as well, where there's no crosswinds in play. But let's just give the bridge a go and see how it responds there as well. Okay, so 60 miles an hour. Actually, you know what? I think that does improve things a little bit. Not getting the same level of chop. That's an interesting one in front. So what's that with that tail light? Is that a Goodsey? Is that a V100? I think it might be, you know. V100 Mondeo. You're starting a 60 limit doing 50. Come on, mate. Very nice. Yeah, V100 Mondeo. I've not seen one of those on the road before. That looks very nice actually, even in white. Very distinctive tail light. Same as they have on the V85, I think, isn't it? But yeah, nice looking bike. As I say, let's give it a go on a slightly better day, but I'll leave it here for now. Okay, so stupidity overcome, and I've realised that by simply tilting the bars back, I can actually get the mirrors in a different position. So, for example, this side, mirror is no longer hit, they come in front of the mirror, and handguards and Barkbusters VPS just touching the edge there. Slightly different on the other side, because let me show you one of the reasons I wasn't particularly happy with these Barkbusters is, as you can see, the left hand one there actually tilts up. Not quite perfect on both sides, but on the left here it now turns in front of the mirror and it just catches on that edge there. So much improved. Something I've realised when I was test riding a couple of the other Royal Enfields is that I noticed the switch blocks were actually more tilted back on those ones than on my one. So actually, just by rotating the bars back slightly to probably where they should be, we've now solved that problem. I've added a bit of a gap here for the mirror ready for the Veridin cruise because it has to move over a little bit, so just make sure that's okay. So mainly the mirrors where they are for now. Let's see. But yeah, just a quick update. Had a quick go on this screen earlier today, and yeah, not bad. Definitely helps with some of the buffeting. Unfortunately, it does reduce the wind flow. It's about 30 degrees today, so I actually could have done the wind with the wind flow hitting my chest, but you know, for longer motorway stints, I think it's going to be better. So I'll give it another go on a motorway on a slightly less blustery day and see if I've got that wind protection I want. And the only other thing to add, just because I'm using this again with the light guard on there, is that he's rubbing on the top of the guard positions there. So just notice there, it sits inside the metal, and that side just outside. It's just obviously slight tolerance on where the bracket is, but what I've done is I've got a bit of paint production film and just put it over both sides there. Stop that scratching. See, when you're looking through my action cam, you're looking down at it, but just to show you, that's my eye line, so I look straight above it. Excuse the mess in my garage. Okay, so third time lucky. Tried to test the screen the other day and it was so horribly windy with crosswinds that it really wasn't representative. So Just on my way to work and taking on a little stretch of the M62, so I figure this is a good opportunity. Right, so let's get into some clear air. So yeah, okay, this is a marked improvement, definitely compared to the standard screen. As you'd expect, the standard little fly screen doesn't do a lot. The screen, we're up to about here, so about 10 centimetres above the screen is where the wing kicks in. But what that means is it's just blowing around the top of my helmet and not the lower part of my helmet or my chest. So yeah, it feels a lot smoother. You can probably hear it's a lot quieter, and if I was to duck down, I can actually get behind the screen, apart from this stupid visor which kind of flips about in the wind. As I say, deliberately testing it with the worst two helmets. I have a Sport Touring helmet from Shark, which is very, very different to ride. So I think between that screen and that other helmet for motorway runs, it'll be pretty good. So yeah, 80 plus, 86. Yeah, it's not bad, you know. It's feels pretty good. Well, my personal opinion is it actually suits the bike really well. I like the appearance of the screen. I think it makes the bike look even more like an adventure bike than the standard one, which normally I don't like the look of big screens, so this one's pretty good. I just hope that it's not too bad to look through in the video. So I've watched one video back where I've recorded, it's still over it, it's not through it, not like the Husqvarna was very much looking through it, but yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah, happy with the wind protection. It's not perfect. Could definitely still do with another little fly screen bolted to the top, little spoiler one. That would just take it that much off the top of the helmet, I think. Yeah, at the start of this video, I mentioned the bars. So when I tried to turn the bars, they were hitting on the screen, so the wind mirrors were hitting the screen. And me being the clever boy I am, I tried to adjust it by tilting the mirrors, so in and out. When I was trying to move the mirrors to a position that they wouldn't hit the screen, I didn't succeed. Then I remembered something about the test rides I had on some other Royal Enfields, where I commented that I felt the switchgear was really tilted down, and mine, these rotational switches were quite flat. So I did just slackened this off a little bit. I've just turned the bars back by 3-4 millimeters, and it's put them actually in a more natural position for the indicator. I'm no longer reaching up, it's just straight across, which is quite good, and it's also had the desired effect of no longer hitting the screen. Now the handguards still come right up close to this, so it's not perfect, but actually they flex in on my one anyway. I think if you had handguards with a big bracket there, you may have a problem with this screen, but for these handguards, that's fine. I can put the steering lock on, I can turn it on full lock, and the only thing that bends a little bit is the end of the plastic on the handguard. So the other thing I noticed, I think I may have put this in another bit of the video already, but if you look down straight ahead of me now, I'll try and zoom in on the video, the screen doesn't appear to fit exactly the same on both sides. So around the headlight, you can see one side's just on the top of that and the other side's just off to the right of it. I've put some protective tape over the headlight guard because it was rubbing on that paint a little bit, but I don't think that's the screen. I would put money on the screen being a more precision engineered part than the rest of the bike. The quality of the bike is very, very good, but you can certainly see in places where things don't quite line up. When you look down the yoke of the handlebars, for example, it's not all quite square, not all quite flush, but everything feels good to ride. There's no question of everything screwed together properly. Little things like, I thought these Barkbusters handguards were faulty. I thought it was the metal casting. Took the castings back off for the mounts, laid them on the floor, and they are flat as a die. So the only thing left is actually the bar. The end of that bar must be slightly twisted in, or even just a thread at a slight angle, which is enough to tilt the handguard. So I tried to kind of build out the mount a little bit, and it has straightened a little bit, which kind of proves the theory, I think. So yeah, Royal Enfield's quality's there, right along with the indicator operators, but not necessarily the accuracy. So there's some components which is just, you know, margin of error for manufacturing is possibly bigger than you're going to see in some other brands. But yeah, overall, absolutely nothing to complain about. This screen, would I recommend it? Yes. I look at the OEM Adventure Touring Screen and actually wonder what the point is over the standard one. I think you can't get it in smoked either, so it's, yeah, it doesn't look that great to me. I'm sure it does a little bit better because it's narrower, so probably don't have any of these conflicts. But this, for me, big old screen, but actually that's quite an improvement on the motorway. It's no longer like a naked bike. It's got a proper level of wind protection, and it is spitting a bit today, a little bit of rain, and it's handled it very nicely. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I highly recommend this WRS Caponord screen. If you're looking in the market for one, give it a go. It seems to do the job very nicely. There you go. Whilst manoeuvring, you can see I can get a full lock there, no problem at all, and it just touches the edge there now, so much better, and nowhere near on the handlebars. So I've added by a few millimetres chain of turn on that. I've actually managed to add, well, about 1.5 centimetres, 2 centimetres of clearance on that side, so small adjustments make a big difference. And yeah, can't believe my stupidity for not realising that sooner. So apologies to WRS for blaming their screen. It was nothing to do with them. Right, that's it. Thanks very much. See you next time.